Hello everybody, my name is Connor and I am excited to go over this game. First off, my opponent, very good player. Second off, my opponent's Don, incredible Don. If you can't see, he's got the alt art Sakazuki as Don, which as a Sakazuki hater, I love to see it. So we are playing against Purple Iceberg and this is the first time I have played played against Iceberg at all. So we end up swinging 6, playing Perona to get a card out of his hand, and we mill an Absalon and a Gecko, which not great. Milling the Gecko kind of stinks, but in Gecko it's okay if we have a hogback, and I think we might have a hogback in hand there. Yeah, we do, so that's okay. But I am excited to go over this game because as I kind of stated before, this game I had never played on Iceberg, and I really felt like I had this game and then I didn't. So I want to try and figure out where the tides turned, if you will. I felt like I was playing very aggressive, and that's one of the things I like about playing Gecko is I feel like the deck is very aggressive, weirdly enough. And there's something really satisfying about using Perona, honestly. So my opponent is taking some time to think through his turn. I could probably benefit from doing that. So he goes ahead and he leader abilities, which is Dom -1 to play out a Water 7 character, I believe, or a Galila character. I can't remember exactly, but he plays out Poly and ramps too. So I'm like, oh, okay, like that's kind of nasty getting, Poly on board already at this point in the game. Thankfully Poly can't pop anything, but yeah. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I'm thinking about dropping Sindri because I don't have a ton in my trash, and then probably swinging with Gecko, just trying to aggress. He doesn't have a lot of cards in hand because he did counter out of the first hit and we hit him with the Perona, so I'm thinking that's probably a good choice, but I am taking my time to think about this play. So I end up dropping Sindri to fill up my trash. We mill Brook, another Absalon, Suru, and Sindri, and an Isho. Isho I'm okay with. I don't feel like I don't think that my opponent's gonna get enough to be Isho'd, but we decide to drop the Ice Age, swing 6, tap 2, and discard Hina for the Absalon to pop the Poly. And I return Ice Age and Isho back to the bottom of my deck. I was pretty happy with that play. I remove his attacker from the board, and I feel like that was really aggressive. I'm starting to build my board wide. I absolutely feel like at this point in the game, I am in the driver's seat. I am locked and loaded. I do only have 3 cards in hand, so that's a little stressful, but I don't know. I feel like whenever I play like Gecko or Lucci or black decks in general, I just don't feel like I have a lot of cards in hand. But I guess I could have played out. Would I have enough Dawn? No, I wouldn't have had enough Dawn to play out Hina and Absalon off leader ability, so I guess Ice Age was the play there. I'm so used to like discarding Hina to try and get a Gecko play, but I'm not good at optimizing Gecko plays yet. And in this build, I'm not running any Borsalinos, and I think I am going to run Borsalinos because he's just hard to get around. But my opponent drops the Kid, then leader abilities for the beautiful Alt Art Khalifa. Honestly, that card is so shiny, and it's not a bad card. He gets 1 Dawn back from the Eustace Captain Kid. I believe, yeah, that's the Alt Art Kid on the board, and he passes. And yeah, I just go ahead and read Khalifa because I'm not familiar with her. And look at that card, dude. I know people weren't thrilled to be getting that alt art, but that card is so pretty. I'm drooling over here. But we go ahead and we get 2 more Dawn, and yeah, I'm thinking about. I think think I'm thinking, oh my goodness, about playing Sabo here. We do end up with another Hina. I do have a Perona in hand. I could... It's not even worth Perona abilitying here. I could swing aggressive. I could swing 6-6. And I decided to go 6 into lead. And my opponent goes ahead and takes it. I'm just trying to see if I can get over the blocker. I go 5. He gives me the law, and then I go 6. And he counters out with the, oh goodness, I can't remember his name. Great card. I love that card. And then we tap 5 to drop the Sabo. We get the brand new and the Suru, and I trash Hina and brand new here, I believe. Actually, no, yeah. I go Hogback just to get Hogback in the trash. I don't hate that play. I think Sabo is good here. But yeah, he is at 9 Dawn, I believe. And I played Sabo because I felt like it was the best option I had, but yeah, my opponent puts down a Reiju, and then he's like, wait, I have more Dawn than you. I can't draw, and you know, it's locals, so he just takes it back. No worries, no sweat off my brow. I don't think that would have changed the game too much. But yeah. So as I'm saying, I feel like I have absolute control of this game. Like, I feel like I'm about to, you know, smoke my opponent. My opponent is I would say one of the most talented players we have. We have so many good players up here. And so I think my opponent is one of the players I haven't been able to beat yet. So definitely want to do that. My goal is to eventually try and beat everybody, you know, all of the top local players here. But he swings Khalifa into Perona, and I decide to let her go. I figure I could Gecko ability if he gets more cards in hand. But then he goes ahead and he drops Kaido, getting a ramp back with getting a Dawn back, with Kid. And we did play Sabo last turn, so he doesn't end up popping anything. But I cannot defend the Absalom from the Kaido. So I'm thinking, looking back on it, I did use that 5, the Ice Age to pop Poly. And in this list, I'm running 4 Ice Ages. So I could have used Ice Age this turn, Ice Age Sakazuki, to potentially, I think, pop Kaido. That would have been more than enough. So yeah, and I did get a new camera stand. If you guys can see it in the corner there, it's not covering the mat there, so I didn't think it was too much, or the play mats, so I didn't think it was an issue. But I am still trying to figure out how best to display the games. I might try a different way of positioning it. It is very hard to position, honestly. I end up moving the tables more than I move the camera stand. So yeah, I'm doing my best. So I think here I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I end up swinging 7 into Khalifa, trying to get that body off board, and he ends up 2k out, using 2k to get out of the hit. And at this point in the game, I'm thinking I should have got Gecko back earlier. I'm at 8 Dawn, I believe, and not playing Hogback to get the Gecko in my hand ready to drop this turn, I think is an issue. I don't think I have a crazy Gecko play, or as I've said several times, I am still trying to figure out how to optimally use Gecko in Gecko, ironically. But so I end up trashing Sakazuki there, and I play Hogback. Hogback will grab Gecko. And I think I mill 2. If I forget to mill 2, oh yeah, I'm putting 2 at the bottom for Hogbeck. I don't want to put really anything I have in there, so I think I end up going with the Hina just because it is a duplicate. Yeah. And I'm checking my hand, seeing what I have. I don't think I might forget to mill for leader ability here. I'm still I'm still trying to I'm so used to the sim doing it for me because I've only played Gecko really on the sim. Yeah, so I forget to mill there. That's on me. I'm still picking up the leader ability. Milling 2 is good. Milling 2, I want to mill 2. But I just forget there. There's a lot going on in that turn, and when the sim's not doing it for you, my tiny brain can't keep up. So definitely, I still have 5 life, which is pretty impressive at this point in the game, but with that Kaido on board, it's probably gonna go away pretty quick here. Yeah, so he's at 7 Dawn. And then he starts swinging with Kid, and that really hurts. But we take our first life, and we get Sabo, which I'm okay with. He swings Kaido, and I go ahead and take... I think I'm like saving my Sabo, I think, too much here. He ends up playing Bluno, minusing a Dawn to get Polly back. And then Polly, he gets the Dawn back with, yeah, he is doing the most. He pops Hog back, he gets the Dawn back with Kid, Polly ramps him, he pops Hog back, and he passes turn. And I definitely, if I was in the driver's seat, I am no longer in the driver's seat. I am feeling just not good at this point. That Kaido is huge. He has 1 Dawn, so I don't know. I think I play Gecko this turn. I could have just loaded everything on leader and swung, especially because his leader his blocker is rested. I don't know if like getting Kaido off the board should have been my like main priority, because I think I just start kind of going for health or for life at this moment and kind of trying to ignore the board, if I remember correctly. This was yesterday, so who knows. But I am looking to see what I can do with Gecko, and just there's not much in my trash, really, not much. It'd probably be a little different if I remembered to mill. I'd have a Helmeppo in my trash if I remembered to mill. So yeah, so we end up trashing 2. And I think I actually mess up the math here. So Polly goes down to 3, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and I dropped Gecko. Yeah, 4-3. Yeah, so he's -2. Oh no, he is 2. Never mind, he is 2 because Helmeppo minus is 3. My bad. So we play out Absalom, and to pop the Polly, which I'm not mad about, and I play down the Sindri that I just, put to trash to get more in my trash, and we end up milling 2 Ice Ages, which sucks. I think I go ahead and put the Ice Ages at the bottom, just making sure. Yeah, so if I had milled on the Gecko ability, I think that it would have been, I think I would have had, there's a chance I would have had an Ice Age in my hand, but then I swing 5 into lead and he takes, so we have him down to 2 life, and I'm thinking, okay, there's potentially hope here. But he's already at 10 Dawn again, or 10 Sakazukis again. He plays the, I can't remember her name, but she is the, I think, Water 7 Galila Searcher. I think she's Water 7 Searcher. And he grabs the Khalifa, which I believe the Khalifa on play lets him take cards from trash, which is gnarly, because at this point I'm thinking, okay, I'm not familiar with the Iceburg deck. There's a slim chance. So he plays down Reiju. Because he is at less Dawn, he gets to draw 2. And then with the, what is that, 4? He's at 5 Dawn, still standing. Yeah, with 5 Dawn still standing, I feel like he plays down another Khalifa. But I don't think Khalifa is 5. I don't remember here. This was almost 24 hours ago. My brain is not able to handle that long ago. But he ends up swinging. I think he swings with Bluno here. Yeah, he swings 7 with Bluno. And I think at this point, I know he's swinging with Kaido at least. And I end up trashing Rebecca. I'm so used to being like, I need Rebecca and trash to play off Gecko, but I haven't seen another Gecko. So he does end up dropping the Khalifa, ramping a Dawn, minusing a Dawn, and he ends up grabbing 2 of the I can picture the name, but I can never say the name. 2 2Ks, very, very good body, honestly. I really like playing that purple card. Just, it pops 2 costs and less if you minus Dawn. And he has 4 Dawn to just ruin my day with. So he swings 7 with Kid, and I'm thinking, okay, he swung with Kid. He has a decent amount of cards in hand. I end up countering out, and I think, okay, I can Perona him, get less out of hand, and ideally go for game. One thing I didn't know though at this point is Iceburg just has counters. Iceburg just has counters, so I end up taking this hit and I get a Rebecca. I think so. I do believe I end up going for game here and thinking like I will die on the clapback, but realistically, I think I could have cleared board. I think I could have gone and swung, I could have Sabo Rebecca, but I end up swinging 7 and 2King to get the Perona. I don't hate the Perona play. I trash Rebecca. I don't hate this play. I think this was a pretty solid, I don't know if solid's the right word, but it was an alright idea. I get him to discard a card, and I have the rest of my Dawn. I can't do that math that quick. I have the rest of my Dawn to spread amongst my characters. So yeah, I swung 7. He ends up taking that hit, and I'm like, okay, like he's got 1 life left. How do I math this out? And this, I have said over and over again, this is one of the hardest parts about this game for me, is I do not understand how to math for lethal, and you guys can see here. So I end up swinging 6, I think 6 into lead, and I get one of the 2Ks out of his hand. I'm like, okay, cool. That's what I was expecting. He has 4 in life, and I really do think I should have switched my focus to board, or just as soon as I played that Perona, just blockered up, swung 5s, swung base into maybe Bluno or Kid, depending, and blockered up and hoped to live another turn. I think that probably would have been a better play. I go 6 into life. And yeah, I just don't like the way I knew, like, as I was doing this, I was like, this math is horrible. I do not understand. I'll be real. I do not know how to figure out how to go for lethal if I go for lethal. And yeah, I definitely fumble it here. Pretty big. I'm thinking, okay, I'll go 10 with Gecko. I think realistically, if I was gonna do anything, I should have left Sabo up. I should have played down either Rebecca or Sabo, and I should have swung big into Kaido. And then I think there's a chance. But his board is really impressive, so I know if I don't get lethal here, I know that I'm losing. So I swing 7 into lead. I think he's given me both of his 2k counters, and I believe he ends up countering out of this if I remember correctly. So yeah, definitely need to. I think the weakest point I have in the game in general is figuring out lethal. And I know that I haven't really played against a Iceburg before, but yeah, I just did not. I don't think I thought I just did not have the gas to go for lethal here like I thought I did. So yeah, I end up going 10 into Kaido, thinking like, okay, and then he gives me his last card in hand as counter, and I go ahead and fold because I know he's got it next turn. So definitely not happy with how that ended. I think I started relatively strong, but did not end the way I wanted to end. So kind of a bummer there, but it's a learning experience. As I mentioned, I haven't played against Iceburg before, and now I know that my glaring weakness is that I need to work on figuring out how the math for lethal. I'm not a math guy, and it definitely showed in that game. But that is gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you could ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.